My name is Anji Stephens. For those of you who don't know me, I've been working with Mainframes for over 30 years, and I am one of the founders and the CEO of Mainframe Society. Welcome to the first edition of Leaders of the Mainframe World. LMW is a new addition to our suite of podcasts in the MSPN, and something we have been working on for a while. Our aim is for it to complement and augment our other podcasts, the Mainframe Community and Diary of a Mainframer. LMW will give us insights into how C-levels and senior managers think, as well as visions and initiatives for mainframes over the next few years. We are extremely lucky, and I'm very happy to be here today with Sofia Barbosa, CCO of BMC. Welcome, Sofia.
Thank you, Angie. Really happy to be here today. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. I'd like to start by asking you to explain what your role as CCO entails. This will be very enlightening to us all, but especially to our young mainframe professionals and students who I know are listening to us.
Okay, no, for sure. So CCO stands for Chief Customer Officer. So basically, this is a role that traditionally is responsible for all the post-sales motions. So what do we mean with post-sales? Is we sell our contracts, we explain our value proposition, we implement it in the customers, and then we have usually a couple of groups that interact with our customers, ensuring that they are using our products correctly, that they are taking all the value that they can, that we are able to train and enable them to ensure that they are extracting the business outcomes that they want from our products. So these post-sales motions are divided into different groups. One of them is professional services. So our consultants that are able to do all of the advisory services, expert services, migration, implementation, onboarding. So all of those consultancy type of work that is needed to ensure that we have our products up and running towards our customers. Then we also have training and enablement. How can we actually provide our customers with the right level of the skills to understand our product and its capabilities and potential? So we also have a team that does training and enablement and content production to be able to deliver this to our customers. And then we have our support organization, which anything that you need, if there is sometimes an incident or a request for information, they can contact us and we will assist throughout the journey of the customer. So we also have this unit. And we have a customer success management specialist group, which basically the whole purpose is to ensure that we are having very regular check-ins with our customers, understand what are their needs, what was the initial business case they wanted, and why did they acquire our product, and then are they taking all the value? Are they adopting well? Do we need to support in any other way? So we also have a customer success specialist group that basically ensures that the customer has some level of dedication, support, and is taking advantage and value of the products that they bought. So in a nutshell, I would say professional services, customer success management specialist group, support, education. This is the fundamental areas that a chief customer office works upon to ensure a great post-sale experience, and ultimately is always having the customer and the outcomes that the customer wants to achieve in the heart of everything we do, and ensuring that all the promises we have done from the sales cycle are realized during the life cycle of the agreement.
Yes, wow. That is a lot, actually, Sofia. And of course, yes, the customer, that's the key point, isn't it? So I believe your role involves a lot of traveling, different working cultures, etc. We're seeing in the mainframe communities a collaboration starting between communities around the world, Asia, America, Europe. Do you see collaboration between your customers, BMC's customers? Is there a collective forum where they can communicate together and with you and request new initiatives?
Angie, the interesting part is you just said the word. We have a community called Collective, by the way. Okay. So it's really the name. So we have actually different types of forums. We have inside the BMC website, you can enter something which is called the community. And there is where everyone can interact, our users, our customers, and basically any questions, expose use cases, have an expert answering. So that's the community side that we keep on feeding content and information and ensure that we are sharing best practices or any type of know-how. And then we also have something called Collective, that is a safe space between our customers to interact and share ideas, proposals, requests for information, requests for enhancement, and actually also share between them what's happening and if someone else is passing to something similar, what they have done, because this interaction with customers, sometimes passing through similar situations, I think is very, very positive and enlightening for them, particularly many times where they are in the same industry, because the challenges are sometimes very similar. So we do have community. We have a website, which is Collective also. And we actually have other forums, which we call GCABs or MCABs, which is basically customer advisory boards, where we bring some of our main customers into an event, 1 or 2 days, and we just discuss about the product, about their experience, about what they want to achieve, how can we address that and support and help. And it's very interesting because the connections that are built through these events, not just with us, but between the customers themselves, are so valuable that they continue the interaction afterwards and they keep coming back, which is great for us. We just had a few forums already this year and more to come until the end of the calendar year. So I think it's some of the most powerful connection networks that we can have is doing these events together with the community and Collective, definitely.
Oh, I totally agree. That's brilliant. I mean, yes, we're all about community, so that's fantastic to hear that. I'd like to step back for a moment and ask, how did you start your journey into technology? Have you always been interested from a young age, or did you transition into it? And have you had any turning points?
Yep, completely. So actually, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a journalist. Okay. And I think this was an influence from my grandfather, who was working in this area as a journalist. But that's just to say that it was always very interesting to me, anything that had to do with problem solving or investigation or trying to resolve like complex situations or projects or analysis. So that is like something that was with me since a very early age from an interest point of view. And I think technology just appeared to me like naturally. So it was very interesting to see how it was developing. How could it actually help support some of the challenges that people are having, that businesses are having, and how can we transform and adapt and adjust and innovate by using technology and developing technology for the good of everything. So that's what sparked me in the beginning. And I think I can use these techniques of investigation, problem solving, etc., into technology. So I entered that world and I never left, basically. So that's, I think, the genesis also.
Yeah.
Of the...
Wow. Yes, that's a really interesting story. I like that. So, something I'm particularly interested in is mentors. Did you have any mentors and key figures who have influenced you in the work arena first?
Definitely. So I think mentors is something that we all should aspire for, because they are a bit, it's like coaching, mentoring, supporting, allyship. They always help us develop as we move forward in our career. I was lucky enough to have several mentors throughout my career. I'll tell you an example of one that it was when I was an early manager in my career, and she just told me a sentence that I keep on telling everyone because it was a big transformational or turning point for me. She told me, she was a VP at a global service integrator I worked for more than 11 years. And she told me once, Sofia, sometimes people underestimate you. Don't let them. She just told me this. That had a huge effect on me, which is, okay, how am I portraying my ideas? How am I coming across to others? How can I improve? Because apparently sometimes I'm being underestimated. So what can I do to change that? Is that something on my communication style? Is that something on the way I'm approaching topics? So sometimes I think mentors can really help you out by supporting you, but also by telling you these little things that make you change and make you adapt, make you think deeply about the way you're portraying things and how can you adjust and improve. This is an example that had a tremendous effect on me on the way also I
Mhm.
advocate for myself and everything. And it was just a simple sentence,
Simple
but
sentence.
I never forgot it until today.
No.
Um, and then I had also others. More recently, I had an amazing mentor and ally that did help me out in terms of also understanding these complex environments and moving up in the ladders. So definitely, I think it was a huge support. And also, honestly, also Angie, as I move through my career, I also had other examples of what is the leader I want to be and what's the leader I don't want to be. So I think we are made up of good examples and some examples that we don't want to pursue because it's not according to our values, according to our personality, according to what we aspire to be. And I think all of that helps mold who we are today. So definitely great examples and others that I also consider that that's not the style I want to pursue for the future.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's really interesting. And I love that. Just that simple sentence that has meant so much to you. It's triggered something, hasn't it?
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
completely.
I know myself, I've had some wonderful mentors, throughout my career, particularly when I started my mainframe career at IBM Hersley. Oh, Peter Lupton, Paul Mundy, to name a few, who have been wonderful. I still have role models and who inspire me. I have a dear friend who you probably know, Rebecca Levesque, CRO of 21CS. Oh, she's an incredibly strong and inspirational woman. And every time I speak to her, I feel I'm learning something. And actually, just like when I'm speaking to you too, Sophia, I'm learning something.
You
It's
so
beautiful. Um, yeah, I think that strong, inspirational women can help us all. Of course, there are strong, inspirational men too, but I think there are some wonderful women out there. I mean, there's not so many, obviously, at your level, but there are still some wonderful women who can mentor. You've spoken about your personal role model, your grandmother. Would you like to say a few words about her?
completely. So I think it's interesting because sometimes we do have role models, mentors, and I think they're so important for us. But what I realize is that sometimes our real heroes are the ones closest to home. Okay.
Okay.
And that's what usually I speak about my grandmother because she had a huge impact on me.
Mm,
She was a housewife, but she was living in a particular moment in the history of my country where we were fighting for democracy. And as I mentioned, my grandfather was a journalist. So the many times he was involved in lots of things and she had to run the family on her own. And she did it perfectly well. She was what I call the true matriarch.
mm,
And another thing, she was an amazing salesperson.
mm,
She usually, what she did, although she didn't have like a work, she was a housewife, but she collaborated with all the shops around her house. She would help them make business. They all wanted to work with her. I really think that if she was pursuing a career in sales, she would do wonderfully. She could sell anything to anyone. She was extremely strong. And I'll tell you another personal thing. I think it's more something we say in my own language, native language, but I hope it makes sense in English. She usually told me, which was, Sophia, if you're afraid of something, you buy a dog. What does this mean? I think it's her way of saying that don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of trying. Don't be afraid of failing. And if you're afraid of something, just buy a dog. There's always a resolution. Your problems. Okay. It was just a way of saying so.
yeah.
And you should move along. And if you have like your basic needs covered, why you are sometimes we so worried about speaking up, about taking challenges, about trying a different project. Sometimes I think we overthink things. So it's just don't be afraid, move along, and don't moan. I think she was a very strong lady saying, we fail. It's normal to fail. We move along, but just don't stay moaning for too long because life keeps happening and you need to keep moving.
Uh,
So it was
yeah.
some of her life experience that she shared with me. And I think I take it to this day. I think it is a big part of who I am today, taking her teachings onwards.
Oh, I think that's lovely. A wonderful story. That's why I really wanted you to share something about that today. It's lovely. So, as I mentioned earlier, Mainframe Society has a lot of young, new to Z professionals, as well as students who will be listening to this. Um, we as Mainframe Society actively support them and the Waves initiative. What is BMC doing with regards to workforce transformation?
Yeah, so that's a very, very important topic for us and one of our main initiatives that is discussed at a higher level. We have some amazing, and I'll say amazing professionals in BMC on the mainframe side. People with years and years of experience. They are gurus. Okay. So I can cite some of their names here, but they are just amazing. They have a wealth of knowledge that it's spectacular. Nevertheless, we really need to ensure that we are bringing the new breath of talent on board and that we are able to pair them up with these amazing people that has so much knowledge in their minds. Sometimes you speak, we need to download their brains, right? So what we are doing is several initiatives that we already started some years ago, ensuring that we work with universities, we work with institutes, and we are also looking into developing this new generation of talent. So we have topics like a BMC Academy, and we are also, so I'm currently on my own area, for example, building up a team for the support organization and for the customer success specialist group, where we are hiring in new locations. We are training them, we are pairing them with these experienced people and ensure that we keep on bringing this new generation on board. And I was lucky enough just a couple of weeks ago to be with some of these people in Warsaw, in Poland, where we are also hiring at this point in fact, together with many other locations across the globe. And it's so great to see this talent, this new generation coming in, because Mainframe is here. It's going to stay in such reliable, such important, keeps on running the top companies in the world, that I think I see them with lots of energy and passion and enthusiasm, which I think is so important and so needed. So it's deeply one of our main initiatives and goals. And we are bringing a lot of new generation in. And I'm happy to see what they can do and move this forward. And another thing also, Angie, is I'm also seeing the same on our customers. Our customers are looking at us, asking also us to share experiences and doing exactly the same. So I strongly believe that new talent coming into the mainframe world creates great career and job opportunities for them. So I wouldn't hesitate if I was just getting out of school, entering into this role, because there is lots of opportunities, I am sure.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I mean, as I said, I've been with mainframes from when I left university, so well over 30 years, and I'm like, I can't imagine doing anything else. It's been a wonderful career. Yes, I have a long story, which I won't go into now, but maybe sometime I can tell you. But it's been fantastic, wonderful. I would recommend it to anyone. And of course, all these youngsters, they're the future of the mainframe. So we've got to do what we can for them.
Yep.
So that's great. And I'd like to move on to the current mainframe landscape and ask you, what are the top 2 or 3 strategic priorities for BMC this year? I know BMC has won some prestigious awards recently for AI products, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm interested, how do you decide what to focus on next? With cloud, cybersecurity, quantum, etc. on the rise.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think I'm actually excited to see the conversion of modern DevOps, AI-driven automation, and mainframe resilience. So I think we are seeing, actually, as we were speaking about workforce transformation, we are seeing, I think, a generational shift from viewing mainframes as legacy to seeing them as powerful and scalable platforms. And I'm actually, Angie, particularly energized by how mainframes are evolving to be first-class citizens in hybrid IT, open, observable, and integrated. So the innovation, I think, in making mainframe talent more productive and connecting them to younger engineers is crucial. So it's not about replacing the platform. It's about reimagining how it's being used. And as I mentioned, you mentioned, we just won this award of Conversational AI Innovation Award because of our BMC Amy Assistance, which is basically a generative AI powered solution integrated into BMC's Amy portfolio that offers this human-like conversational support for mainframe professionals that helps simplify complex tasks, preserving this knowledge, this institutional knowledge, and also accelerating transformation. So I do think that there's a lot to be done, and I see a bright future ahead. And for us in BMC, what is important is we need to keep on top of what's happening in the market, how this can help modernize and continue to innovate in the mainframe area. But one thing that is extremely important is mainframe is extremely reliable and keeps on running the main companies in the world. And this is something we don't take for granted. That's one of our first priorities, and we innovate on top, but we need to ensure that it continues to stay with the stability and the reliability that it has, helping run the biggest financial institutions and others in the world. That is fundamental for us. So we keep on innovating and modernizing, but creating and maintaining that reliability and stability is extremely important for us, and we take it extremely seriously.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. And so I mean, this is just a personal question. You may not have an answer to this, but are there any technology trends that you believe are overhyped, and conversely, any that are under the radar?
Yeah, so I would say that I think AI, as we are all aware, it's the hype. So it's both the most transformational, but also the most overhyped right now. So I think the potential clearly is massive. But the gap between hype and real scaled enterprise use cases, for example, is still, I think, wide. And many are dabbling, but few are operationalizing AI in ways that drive measurable business value. So I think there's a lot to be done. We are still in a discovery phase overall. I know CFOs are very much also on top of what is the level of investment that companies are doing in AI versus return on investment, improvement in efficiency, productivity. So I think that's where we need to see some evolution and some results. On the other hand, I do think mainframe modernization is under the radar. Because I do think while it's not flashy, it's mission critical, as we were just discussing. And the innovation happening to make mainframes cloud connected, AI ready, and part of agile pipelines is incredibly impactful and not talked about enough. Okay? I really think that should come center moving forward. We need to do some work there.
Yeah. Interesting. Yes, I agree with you. I think that's, spot on. So moving on to the future, what are you most excited about for over the next, say, 5 years in the mainframe arena? What is your vision? I think you probably touched on this already, but
Yeah, completely. So I think it's that part that I was mentioning just a few minutes back in terms of modern DevOps, AI-driven automation, continue to see how AI actually can help in our area, and also mainframe resilience. I think this is what I think it's where we need to go in the next 5 years. And again, how can we stop viewing mainframes as legacy to seeing them as powerful, scalable platforms, which is what they are in reality, and interconnected with the remaining landscape. So I do think that we have some work to be done, but I feel energized that mainframes are evolving to be these first-class citizens in hybrid IT. And that is what I think we need to continue to work upon and ensure that we are reimagining how it's being used.
Yeah. I'm really happy to hear that. That's wonderful. So, Sophia, now onto a bit of fun, if you don't mind, with quick fire questions. So, what is the one tech gadget you can't live without?
I'll tell you two things, Angie. I tell you what I can't live nowadays and the one I wish I had.
Right.
I had in the future, okay? The one I can't live without is noise cancelling headsets. Because as you mentioned, I'm always traveling, and sometimes I'm working on some crazy hours because I'm running teams globally, and I have two kids, okay, two young girls. So they can be loud, or I can be at the airport. It's also loud, or another location. So it does help a lot. So it's a lifesaver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me and also for the people that I'm hearing me in calls or in meetings. So that is what I can't live without.
Yeah.
The one I would like to have is teletransportation. We are probably still some years away from that, but I spent so much time in planes and waiting and delays that is my dream technology for the
Oh, I
future.
bet.
You think
Yes.
could put it forward.
Yeah, I can imagine. I used to travel a lot, and yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yes, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Um, so what about books and podcasts?
Mhm.
Which book or podcast should every IT leader check out?
Yeah, there's so many. I think I'll refer to a book. I think a book that was very also interesting for me was The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek, his new guru of leadership. So I think it's a powerful reminder that leadership, especially in technology, isn't about short wins, but also about building this resilient, values-driven organization that help drive long-term value and long-term growth. So I would definitely encourage to read the Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. That I think is a powerful book.
Brilliant. Thank you. I'm going to make a note of that one. Um, are you an early bird or a night owl?
Always an early bird. Even
Mhm.
when I was in university studying, I had colleagues that did nights studying, and I prefer to wake up like 4 or 5 a.m., which I
Oh,
think is
wow.
where I'm like the, yeah, I'm a strange person. I think mornings are usually when I'm most sharpest, I think, and I care about quiet time before actually the day starts to take off and I can take some early coffee. So definitely early bird.
Yes, yes. I agree with you, actually. I'm definitely at my best early in the morning. And I like to do a little bit of mindfulness sort of
Ah,
activity.
that's great.
That's start.
Yeah, I really want to try that one for a long time.
Yes,
You need to give me some tips,
I will.
Angie.
I will, definitely. I'll send you something. So, what is your go-to productivity hack?
Okay. So one thing I'm very systematic about is time blocking. Okay. And then I say time blocking is I have all the meetings and conference calls and forums I need to attend,
Mm,
but I always also block time in my agenda because of my personal commitments.
mm,
Or I have to go to a school meeting of my daughter or I have something else. So I'm always very consistent and
mhm.
systematic because I don't work on a time zone. Yeah, I work globally. So
Yes, yeah.
my calendar can be a bit chaotic sometimes. So I always try to ensure that I block everything I need from a professional, but also personal perspective. So I keep everything very organized. I'm very
Yeah.
systematic with time blocking
Yeah.
from a calendar perspective.
I was going to say that, yeah, you have to be very organized. Somebody in your position with so many things happening, like you say, on business level and personal level, with two daughters. Wow. So, what would you do if you weren't in mainframes?
Interesting. Anything that has problem solving involved.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was mentioned, yeah. Maybe I was a journalist. Maybe I
Yeah.
would go back to my initial.
Yes.
No, would need something that I need to have a puzzle to resolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Absolutely. Another thing that I think maybe also sparked this problem solving investigation idea. My my grandfather used to have a huge collection of Agatha Christie books.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had the entire collection.
That's
And what he used to do during my summer holidays was to read to me the books.
mm,
And
mm,
that's so interesting, like those crimes and what do you need to do. And then it's all the surrounding. And then he's always one that you don't expect. So that is the kind of things I like to read this type of books also, by the way.
yeah.
So
Mm.
crime scenes and how to resolve a big
I,
puzzle. But I'm always like trying to, that's the what tricks me is problem solving, how
yeah.
to resolve, what to
Yeah.
expect, how to do analysis. My husband actually says I work by correlation tables in my grade. So yeah, that is really what
And I'm a
excites you.
lovely. That's fantastic. So that brings me to the end of those. I just wanted to say I love the quote behind you. Dream.
Yes. Which one?
I
The big
really want.
dreams, making hands,
Yeah,
smashing goals. Yeah.
yeah,
And
great.
below it's don't quit.
Yeah.
So don't quit, but just do it. Do it. Don't think don't quit, just do it. Yeah. It comes back to, I
Mm,
think we need to continue to, even sometimes from a professional life, we are in a project, it's difficult.
mm,
We know. Yes. But we need to keep going and ensure that we are trying to resolve and reach a good outcome at the end for us, for our company, and for our customers,
mm,
and ensure that we're helping them. Another thing I would just like to mention, Angie, that is very important for me as a CCO is whenever we are interacting with someone that is the leader of the mainframe or is someone that is responsible of an admin team, etc. On the customer side, we can't forget it's not only about technology, it's about that person because that person made the selection, for example, for us, BMC, and he's using our product. So it's important also that we support him and that we help them be successful together with his team. Is thinking about our customers, not just as technology users, but as people.
yes.
And what can we do to support them, support their units, and ensure that we are helping drive their business outcomes.
Yeah,
There is always a technology component. There is always a human component. And I don't think we can forget that.
that's
And we need to relate to humans still, which is extremely important to make any company successful and achieve the value they want of
yeah.
the solutions we are producing every day.
Mm, yeah, totally. Relationships are just so important, aren't they? Building these relationships with those customers on that level as well, not just on a technology level. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, Sophia, that brings us to the end of our lovely chat, and it's been wonderful and insightful talking with you today. And I just want to thank you so much. It's been lovely.
Thank you so much, Anjin. Thank you for inviting me. And I'm now a member of the Mainframe Society. I will keep on hearing your podcast. You already started. And I wish you all the best and anything I can do to support, you can count me in. So
Oh,
thank you so much also for driving and for having this group set up. I think it's extremely important for the reasons we were just discussing in terms of ensuring that we continue to foster this community and take advantage of all this great knowledge we have on the people on the
yeah.
workplace at this point in time, but also inspiring the new generation that is coming along and improving and bringing the mainframe forward. There is so much to be done there.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And and thank you also to our listeners. We hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as we have.